So today we're going to talk about how to resell sneakers in 2023. I know everyone and their mother wants to get into reselling. I mean, it's a $10 billion plus market. Based off of what I guess people are saying, it's supposed to go to $30 billion. So probably want to get your foot in the door as soon as possible to make as much money as you possibly can. I've been reselling, I'm sure you guys know, for over 10 years. Those who've been following me for a while know that, I've been doing YouTube for quite a while. Out of these 10 years that I've been reselling, there's only been one method that has worked and has never not worked. It is pretty much a way to provide yourself an income of about $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Of course, depending on how much capital you have. So if you're a new beginner reseller, the first way you probably have started is trying to get something for retail and then flipping it, afterwards, whether that be on StockX or GOAT. While that might be a good kind of beginner starting point on reselling, it's not something that will consistently work. So if we look at retail releases, how many times is something released for retail that's actually profitable? I honestly can't remember, probably more than 4 or 5 throughout a month, especially in 2023. Maybe back then, maybe in 2017, 2016, 2018, there was stuff that was constantly releasing that was profitable. In 2023, if I'm being completely honest, there isn't many things that are being released for retail that are constantly profitable. And the chances of you hitting every single drop to make money, let's say there's 5 drops in a month and each shoe can make you roughly, let's say $60, that's only $300 for the month. And that's even if you're hitting those pairs for retail. So first thing we have to do is completely get buying shoes for retail out of your brain. No more buying shoes for retail. As you guys probably know, you can buy a lot of shoes for resale. And that's pretty much what I've been doing my whole entire sneaker reselling career. If you go on every marketplace, whether it's Facebook, OfferUp, eBay, Instagram, even StockX, people are always going to sell stuff for resale. It's a simple fact. You can go anywhere. People are always going to sell stuff for resale. Now, the thing is, if so many people are selling stuff for resale, don't you think there is at least a couple of shoes that you can make more money than what they're selling it for? So let me give you guys an example. If someone on Facebook Marketplace, for instance, is selling a shoe, Jordan 4 Seafoam, a recent Jordan 4 that recently released, it goes for not that much over retail, but it's a shoe you can resell for more if you get it for the right price for resale. Looking at here, we see 2 Seafoams right here. Let's see what this person wants. So size 9. Oh, he has quite a lot. So he has quite a bit over here. Looks like this one's size 9.5. I'm looking at all these size 8.5 women's, this 9 women's, 10.5 women. I'm gonna throw up some sales over here. I've sold many of these pairs for over $300. Most of the sales I'm having are for $350 plus. And we're gonna go through selling a little bit later, but if we keep going down this list, right, this is just Facebook Marketplace. Like I said, there's eBay, there is OfferUp, there's Instagram, there's many different places you can buy shoes. And if we open, let's do a 500-mile radius and let's apply it. Let's see. So here's another Seafoam that pops up, size 8. He wants 320. And basically the only thing you have to do is just offer, hello, is this available? And then we can say, let's say 270, or let's say even 260. Because again, StockX, if we literally go on StockX, the shoe is about 260, 270 on StockX. Now it's essentially, an offer game. This one's 280. Not sure if this one's used or new, but again, you want to buy primarily new. Going down this list, here's a bunch of Seafoam. So like I said, I already know in my head that I can sell this Seafoam for $350 on consignment. This isn't big consignment shops like Stadium Goods or Flight Club. This is primarily local consignment shops. I personally work with about 20-25 of them that I trust. They use my software, so they have a portal. They can cash me out ACH. They can sync it to their Shopify. Everything goes smoothly. Essentially, you want to find, a local consignment shop that you truly trust. I'm going to look up, for instance, White Cement 3. Let's see what these are priced at. Okay, so $250, brand new. This shoe in a size 9.5, I'm gonna throw up some sales. I've sold all of them for over 300. This one's $270. Again, this size will probably sell for way over 350 because it's a size 12.5. Bigger sizes usually go for more. So you could say something like 250. And even if he doesn't respond, again, local consignment shops move white cement 3s just like this for over 400. And after they take their 20, 25, 30% fee, you're still left with over 300 to 350. So you're still making a margin. I mean, you're still making well over $50 to $100 depending on what SKU it is. So if we keep going down the list, I mean, it's really just a searching game. If you spend, an hour a day just simply searching SKUs, I mean, you're gonna find a lot of pairs. So like I said, white cement 3s, very, very good sellers. Now I want to show you guys a SKU that has been, selling tremendously well on pretty much every single, consignment shop that I personally work with. These Jordan 1 Concords. And now the thing about consignment is that best sellers are always changing. Stuff that sold in 2016 is probably not going to sell in 2023. So stuff is always changing. You just want to kind of look at the trends, what's selling quick. And a good indicator for that is typically if it's selling for pretty high volume on StockX, like a lot of pairs are being sold, typically a shoe like that is going to do pretty well on consignment. So if we look at these Concord 1s, these are going for about 150 to 170, size 13 going for 150. Easy pickup. Most of them are pretty much going for about 150, no more. Size 11, 150. If we look at the consignment sales that I'm seeing, I mean, every single pair that has been sold on consignment is 250 plus. I mean, some of them are 275, most of them are 250. And if you're at a consignment shop at a 20% rate, I mean, after the fee, you're basically taking home 200 to 220. And if you're paying 150 on a brand new Concord 1, you're pretty much making $50 to $80 in profit. So just like that, if you source Facebook Marketplace, I mean, Facebook Marketplace, I think is the best place to source, but if you source Facebook Marketplace, that's where you're going to find, majority of the pairs for pretty good prices. All you have to do is meet up with these people or set up some sort of shipping thing, simply buy them. And you guys are probably going to ask the question, okay, why don't these people on Facebook Marketplace just sell it on consignment themselves? And the thing about that is most people who sell on Facebook Marketplace, typically, from what I've seen, they're typically older. They don't really care about, selling on StockX, selling on consignment. They just want straight up cash, kind of the old school way, and do a meetup. And if you're watching this video, that's where we can capitalize. That's where we can just be like, okay, I will meet up with you, buy this shoe for cash at a discount. They get cash. You have to put in a little bit extra legwork, but if you're buying 5, 10, 20 pairs, I mean, you're averaging, let's say $50 profit per pair after shipping. That's $500. If you buy 20 pairs, that's $1,000 right there. And most of these shoes, again, if they're newer releases, they're gonna fly on consignment. Now my question is, how do I get it into local consignment? I don't know any consignment shops near me. I don't know any stores near me. The number one thing I can possibly say to you is build relationships with stores. All you have to do is just simply go into a store, build a relationship with them. Don't be greedy. Tell them, look, you can get them stock and you can supply their store and they can take 20, 25% commission. 99% of the time, they're going to be selling for higher than any other platform. So that 20, 25 commission will do absolutely nothing. Like, you're still going to be making more than StockX. So once you build that relationship, or you already find, an established consignment store, you just bring them the shoe and you get it sorted out. Now, I know a lot of stores, don't have a portal. They don't have an actual great way to cash you out. Usually they're running everything through Excel spreadsheets. That's kind of where my company and I have built a software. So pretty much any store that doesn't have a software to manage all your pairs and cash you out, and so you can have a portal as well, there really is no excuse to not have it, in 2023. They can come to us and we can get them a portal and get everything set up so everything is done correctly. But like I said, most sneaker stores in your area, whether they're in malls or wherever, they're probably open to consignment. They're not spending their own money to buy inventory to sell it. They're using your inventory and then paying you once it sells. So that's pretty much that, but I wouldn't worry too much about consignment shops if you can't find any consignment shops, because typically it's pretty easy to find them. Let's say, for instance, you can't find a local one and you want to go to a different one. Stadium Goods, right? Stadium Goods is a consignment shop that you could just ship to. They have an app. There's also Flight Club, but Flight Club merged with GOAT through an acquisition. That's through a like $60 million acquisition. So obviously, they're going to get flooded with a lot more inventory. So you're not going to get as high returns as local consignment, but you can still make money on it. So now something a lot of resellers simply won't tell you is that you can buy off of StockX and make a pretty good amount of profit. And I've done that countless of times. I personally have bought probably over 1,000 pairs off of StockX. The way I kind of look at it is what's going to move fast on consignment that I can buy on StockX for cheaper. The fastest movers for me have been these triple pink grade school Nike Dunks. And if we come to, let's see, that's size 5, size 5.5, size 6 is $249, size 7 is $241. Let's say we want to buy this size 7. I have a reselling permit, so I'm not going to pay taxes. I'm only going to pay shipping and the processing fee. When you buy a lot off of StockX, you can get that shipping actually down to, I think it's like $4. Right now, my total is pretty much $269. Let's go on Flight Club, which is a consignment store that I've sold this pair a lot. Let's kind of see what the returns are there. So as we can see, these are all triple pink Dunks right here. This is a size 7. This is a size 7 right here. I've sold this size 7 in 2 days. So, once you list it, it sells in 2 days. The return after fee is $328. So minus $269, I'm pretty much making $60 right there, just straight profit. And as we can see, these move in 0 days, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days. So they really move 0 days right there. They really move very quick. So again, you can buy off of StockX, move them at Flight Club or Stadium Goods and get that, 300 to even 350 return right here, 347, and make your margin. Now, since these are moving so quickly, you can buy a lot of them. You can buy 10, 20, 30 pairs, and they'll all probably move within like a week and a half to 2 weeks. And just right there, if we do an average profit of like 50 per pair, let's say after all fees, you're pretty much making off of like 10 to 20 pairs, you're making 500 to 1,000. If you do this pretty much all month, and let's say by the end of the month, you sell 50 pairs for $50 profit per pair, which I know they will all move, you're pretty much making $2,500 just like that. So if you can kind of find these like low key flips, you can make a lot of money. It adds up really quick. The key is finding stuff that will sell really fast on consignment. And obviously this is Flight Club, right? Flight Club is in itself pretty saturated with consigners, just as Stadium Goods, but they still move. The only difference is you have to undercut in order to get a quicker sale. Now, I'm not promoting undercutting because we don't want, platforms like this to become another StockX, because then it's really pointless to even sell shoes there. But what I will say is that if you can find, again, a local consignment shop that, let's say, doesn't have that size 7 triple pink, and you're the only person who would have that size, that means you get you're the first person that's going to get the sale. So you can price it even higher than you would off of StockX or Stadium Goods, where they have 20 people with the size 7. So really try and utilize local consignment. Try and network with your local consignment stores and see if they'll take certain pairs that you have. You can probably list it for even higher than you would on other platforms. So definitely take that into account. Like I said, buying off of StockX can be really profitable if you do it the right way, if you find the shoes that move very quick. Shoes that won't move quick are like, let's look at this like Jordan 1 white cement, right? A pair like this won't move fast on local consignment. Might move fast on Flight, might move fast on Stadium, probably not local consignment. White cement 3s, these will move fast on local consignment. If we buy them on StockX for, let's say, the size 7.5 for $230, after fees, we're probably looking at about $260. On local consignment, your return will probably be about $320. So just right there, that's another $60 profit. So you can buy stuff off of StockX. The only steps are, first of all, get a reselling permit from your state. Pretty simple. Just go on Google, look up how to get a reselling permit, email StockX, and then once you try and buy off of StockX, you won't have to pay taxes. Just find shoes that you think will do well or that you've seen do well and sell fast. Throw them on consignment. You can make these quick margins just like that. So now diving into outlets. Outlets is a pretty interesting topic. I've been doing them literally right when I started reselling. Back when I was 14, I'd go to outlets. I'd have my dad drive me and he would basically, help me buy a bunch of pairs, because there was also a limit back then. There was like a 10 per person limit. So I'd get 10 pairs, he'd get 20 pairs. Each pair I'd make like $50. And needless to say, we made some pretty good profit. And I still do to this day. And the way to basically go about outlets is it's all relationship based. A lot of people will just tell you, oh, just go to outlets every single day, source what they have, and you'll eventually find something. That's the furthest thing from the truth. If you really want to make like multiple thousands per month just off of outlets, you need to build relationships with employees. I went to the outlet a couple of days ago, and the first thing I did was I went up and I started talking to employees.
I've never seen these. I think I saw the white colorway.
Yeah, there's been a couple.
And none of them are 30.
No,
Yeah, none
unless
of them
they
are
end in
30.
97.
Yeah. I think you guys had a sale the other time I was here. How often do you guys have those sales?
That's pretty random, and that's the first time I've seen alpha wear in like since I've been here.
Okay.
The initial conversation doesn't have to be, you know, what do you guys have in the back? If an employee is wearing, you know, some lost and found Jordan 1s, like the one I was talking to, I can spark a conversation like that. Where'd you get them? How'd you get them? I really like those, and so forth. And just like that, you kind of start to build rapport, and that builds the relationship. And then afterwards you can be like, do you guys have any heat? Like, what do you guys typically get? How often do you get stuff?
I used to come here a lot and I used to film videos here a lot, but there used to be so much heat back
This
then.
is the most quote unquote heat I've seen in a while. And this is like constantly changing.
Yeah.
So it's like 1 week we'll get some threes, 1 week we'll get.
Oh, threes? What kind of threes do you guys get?
Patchwork threes.
Patchwork threes, yeah. Not the white cement threes?
No.
No.
Not to my knowledge, but I wouldn't be surprised because the more stuff isn't selling out online.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that we'll get it, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if we got like a bin of these.
Of these, yeah.
Or the threes that just came out.
The Wizard threes, yeah. Okay, cool.
You'd be surprised. You might think a lot of employees are probably going to shut you down and be like, we don't want to talk to you. We don't like resellers and so forth. But I've met a lot of outlet employees who I've talked to just like that. I've gotten their number and they literally text me to this day stuff they get, like heat that they get. They basically tell me, come in, you know, before other people buy it. But obviously there's a limit. There's a 10 per person limit, so I'd need to bring multiple people.
And you guys don't do the limit of like 3 anymore?
The limit is 10.
10, right, yeah.
10 now.
But still, outlets are based off of relationships. Just like everything else, just like consignment, just like doing bulk deals, it's relationship based. So when you go to outlets, your pretty much number one thing should be go up to employees and talk to employees at the Nike outlet. You're gonna find some friendly people. The objective for that is to either get their Instagram or their phone number and then be like, is it okay if you tell me when you guys get heat or something like that? And obviously stuff like this isn't gonna be free, right? Typically what I do is if they tell me they get something good, I'll either send them like $50 to $100. And let's say I only make, you know, $500 off the whole kind of like buyout at the outlet, you know, send them $100. Even though that eats up at most of your profits, they're gonna consistently text you and tell you what the outlets have gotten. So like the heat before anyone else knows. You guys, I'm sure have seen many of my videos on them. That's pretty much what I do. Most of my big outlet cooks are from just talking to employees and networking with them and then them giving me information. And with that information, it's like the fast lane. I pretty much just go right ahead of everyone else, make the profit and leave. And then I break bread, I give the money, I give some money to the employees and then repeat the cycle. And I feel like a lot of people wouldn't tell you that just because they're just not gonna tell you that. I'm just gonna be straight up. That's how a lot of people make a lot of money at the Nike outlet. Another way you could do it if you're kind of shy and you don't wanna talk to employees and you don't really wanna go that whole route is simply just wait until they have the 30% off sales. Typically, I think they do that like either it's every couple of months or every month. And essentially what that does is 30% off of everything. Usually what you want to be buying at the outlets are Nike Dunks, retros. Sometimes there's some certain Air Maxes that you can make good profit off of, which I've made amazing profit off of outlets. And I'll throw some sales up here. You guys can see like the outlet price and then how much I've sold it for. So typically off of outlets, I mean, you can really make the same margins as you do buying off of Facebook and selling on consignment. Typically it's around like that, you know, $50 to $100 margin. Again, it just depends on what you also get, but you can still make good money. The only thing that's limiting you is that 10 per person limit. And that's when I kind of suggest, you know, bringing friends with you so you guys can get 10, 20, 30 plus pairs. And then you're making a lot more profit than you initially were. Typically the times I would say you should go are probably after 8, right before they close. There's not that many people there. There's a lot of people you can talk to. More so employees, like the ratio to customers to employees. There's a lot more employees than there are customers at around 8 an hour before they close. So go around that time, network with every employee. The outlet's so big, so they probably won't even notice that you're networking with every single employee. And then who knows, you could just grab everyone's Instagrams or numbers and then see if at least one of them, like 1 out of like 20 of the employees will probably be down to help you. So that's that for outlets. Like I said, if you go to outlets, I think this could easily make you an extra $2,000 a month if you're really consistent. It's all about consistency in the relationships. And you know, most people do really, really, really well. So definitely give that a shot. All right, so to kind of wrap this video up, you know, I really showed you guys, I think, the top profiting reselling methods. I don't think anyone else would put a video out like this on reselling because it's really the guaranteed way to make money. I think to rank them, you know, on a rank from 1 to 3 out of all the methods that I put, I think the first one would be pretty much paying resell to resell for more on consignment. The second one kind of ties into the first one, buying off of StockX. You can also buy off of eBay with the reselling permit. Just like StockX, take your taxes off, make your fees a lot cheaper. And then again, the third one, outlets, very, very profitable if you're consistent. There's a few I didn't mention, which I'm thinking of maybe doing in a part 2 video on more places to buy for resell for a really cheap price to resell for more. But I mean, to really wrap up this video, I think that, you know, for the next decade or so, we're gonna see a huge change in reselling. I think that GOAT and StockX, you know, they really took over the market in terms of reselling, and people think that that's the only way to resell, you know, make $10 margins on each shoe, when that's simply not the case. You know, I've never resold a pair on GOAT or StockX. I've still been doing consignment to this day, and I think that consignment is here to stay, and people don't realize that there's a market outside of GOAT and StockX. There's people that walk into malls and will spend $100 more as a convenience sort of fee, I guess you could say, to get the shoe right then and there. And that's really where we capitalize. That's really the whole point of this video, is that learn to buy stuff for resell because it's a lot more consistent, and then learn to consign pairs locally or even out of state. That's how you're gonna make the most amount of money. And not only does it make you a lot of money, it makes the stores a lot of money too. So it's a win-win for everyone. And one thing I wanted to add before, you know, I close out of this video is a lot of people think that StockX and GOAT, I'd say primarily StockX, is what determines market. But we don't actually realize that we resellers determine the market, right? Without resellers, there is no StockX. StockX is just the middleman. Like, if all sellers got off of StockX, they don't determine the market. It's us. We determine the market. So I think, you know, a big thing for us to think about is not undercutting. The more we undercut, the lower market goes. If we don't undercut, you know, market can be $100 higher than what it normally is. But again, we resellers, we get to choose the market, right? It's us, right? It's not StockX, it's not GOAT. So that's something to keep in mind. Like I said, for the last 10 years, I've been selling way over market for every single platform. I've been doing it before StockX and GOAT, and it still works to this day. So keep that in mind for however long you decide you're gonna resell for. I really appreciate you guys watching this video today. I put a lot of effort into it. So if we can get this video to at least 10,000 likes, I know it's a lot, but I think it was packed with value. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. And let me know any other videos you guys want me to post, and I'll get right to that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace.